I've been focused on the border since day one.
Okay.
To no great effect because we have a wide open southern border. So if that's the best you can do, I respectfully request you resign and let's get someone in the seat who will actually secure our border.
We are a constitutional republic, not an unrestricted democracy. Today, everything is up for a vote. Very little should be up for a vote. Like, for example, who should represent the good people of the state of Arizona. That should be up for a vote. What should the age of consent be? This is something that reasonable minds disagree on. That should be up for a vote.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Arizona, which, in my opinion, is the most important battleground state to watch during the midterm elections because there are a lot of important positions that are up for grabs, namely the governor's race, the race between Kari Lake and Katie Hobbs, and the Senate race, the race between Mark Kelly, who's a Democrat, and Republican Blake Masters. Now, Democrat Mark Kelly is currently the sitting senator for Arizona, and there was a debate in Arizona last night between him and the Republican Blake Masters and a Libertarian. And I got to tell you guys, this debate was super wild, right? It really was, for various reasons. One, because the Republican, Blake Masters, absolutely destroyed Mark Kelly on him going along with Biden's agenda, namely when it comes to the southern border crisis, which is affecting Arizona, and the fact that the Libertarian candidate said something that is really hurting Libertarians. So without further ado, I actually want to go ahead and play some of the highlights from that debate. Take a look.
The people of Arizona know that those 87,000 IRS agents that you're sicking on them, they're not just going after billionaires. They're not just going after big business. They're going to be auditing you. They're going to be auditing your small businesses this time next year. Senator Kelly voted for 87,000 new IRS agents in the Inflation Reduction Act. But to do that, first he had to reject, there was an amendment. He rejected hiring 18,000 more Border Patrol agents. Mark Kelly said no to 18,000 more Border Patrol agents. But yes, to 87,000 new IRS agents. That shows you what his priorities are. Mark Kelly left our southern border wide open, voted for all the trillions in spending that caused this massive inflation, and he thinks the fix is 87,000 new IRS agents. Something tells me that's not going to work out.
I've been focused on the border since day one on this job. I'm down there all the time. I was on the phone this week just, with Mayor Nichols of Yuma, Sheriff Daniels of Cochise County, talking about what more we need for Border Patrol and immigration.
That, my friends, is called evasion.
We're working to raise Border Patrol pay by 18%. I've got legislation to do that. I've been focused on the border since day one.
Okay.
To no great effect because we have a wide open southern border. So if that's the best you can do, I respectfully request you resign and let's get someone in the seat who will actually secure our border. You or did you not vote to reject 18,000 more Border Patrol agents in the Inflation Reduction Act passage?
Senator.
There it is right there.
There are votes that happen in D.C. that have nothing to do with Border Patrol agents, and it might have the title on it, and nothing happens.
You never have to wonder which way Senator Kelly is going to vote because any spending bill that Biden puts in front of him, he will sign. So, yeah, we got the Inflation Reduction Act, and Mark Kelly was the deciding vote. He hired 87,000 new IRS agents. Mark Kelly voted to send stimulus checks to illegal aliens. He voted to send stimulus checks to, get this, violent felons sitting in jail. Is that a good use of taxpayer money? I don't think so. Think about that the next time you go to the grocery store and you can't afford to buy steak or eggs. Let's be clear. The greatest threat to seniors' retirement today is the massive, crushing inflation that Joe Biden and Mark Kelly caused. And it's their fault. They caused it. 2 years ago, inflation was 1.5%. Now, in the greater Phoenix metro area, we are suffering from literally the worst inflation in the nation at 13%. Joe Biden's policies caused this, and those are policies that Mark Kelly in Washington has supported every single time. I'm pro-life, and that means I believe in limits. Now, I support exceptions because I don't believe in being extreme on this issue. Senator Mark Kelly is the abortion radical. Senator Kelly in Washington, he voted, he sponsored, he didn't just vote for it, he sponsored a bill that would have mandated legal abortion nationwide, get this, up until the moment of birth. Take a second to think about how truly radical that is. Mark Kelly says any abortion is okay for any reason, all the way up until the moment a baby is due to be born. He wasn't the only radical who voted for that bill. He was joined by Elizabeth Warren, by Bernie Sanders. AOC voted for this in the House. And the only countries in the whole world that support Senator Kelly's preferred no limits extreme abortion policy are China and North Korea.
He wants fewer people to vote. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Do you want to take away vote by mail?
No.
And hard
Surprise?
stop, huh?
Bruh. Mark Kelly got destroyed, bruh. He got absolutely destroyed. And I mean, let's be real. If you are a sitting Democrat senator and you've been voting with Joe Biden, this is what you're going to deal with in every single debate. Anybody that's actually, decent at debating, right, and did their homework and research before they came in, like this guy obviously did, Blake McMasters, this is what's going to happen, right? I mean, Democrats cannot have a conversation about their policies because they've been a disaster at every level. This is why I truly do believe that they are going to get blown out in the midterms. And you know how Mark Kelly lost this debate? He knows he lost his debate because he pulled the, you can't speak on certain issues card if you don't have a vagina or if you didn't serve in the military.
I think we all know guys like this. Guys that think they know better than everyone about everything. You think you know better than women and doctors about abortion. You even think you know better than seniors about Social Security, and you think you know better than veterans about how to win a war. Folks, we all know guys like this, and we can't be letting them make decisions about us because it's just dangerous.
Yeah, so this is the classic, if you don't have a vagina, or if you didn't serve in the military, or if you don't sleep with people of the same sex, or, you're not a certain race, you can't speak on these issues. Look at me. I'm an astronaut. I served in the military, which again, I think is amazing that he served in the military and was an astronaut, right? I respect Mark Kelly for doing that. I think being an astronaut is probably one of the most prestigious jobs you can do. However, you're now a senator. You don't have to serve in the military to be an astronaut or to be a woman to speak on certain issues. And anybody that says that, again, they're just deflecting. They're deflecting from the fact that they have been an utter disaster on the issues. Like, for example, the border, which is very important to Arizona. And as Blake McMasters pointed out, if Mark Kelly is to be believed that he has been working hard on the border since day one, he has been an utter disaster, right? If you don't believe me, just ask Mayor Eric Adams, who has declared a state of emergency in New York City because of the southern border crisis. Take a look.
In the next few weeks, we'll be opening a large humanitarian emergency response and relief center on Randall's Island that will safely house hundreds of people who have found themselves in New York City at their long journey from our southern border. I will be there to welcome them and to stay with them, to hear their stories. But unless we take immediate action, that center will be full in days, and we will have to open another and another and another, even as winter weather arrives. As a result of that reality, today, I am declaring a state of emergency in the city of New York and issuing an executive order. New Yorkers are angry. I am angry too. We have not asked for this. There was never any agreement to take on the job of supporting thousands of asylum seekers. This responsibility was simply handed to us without warning as buses began showing up. There's no playbook for this, no precedent. El Paso, the city manager, the mayor, they should stop sending buses to New York. New York cannot accommodate the number of buses that we have coming here to our city.
I love it how Democrats virtue signal how much they're doing to help out the illegal immigrants, right, that are coming to their cities. But at the same side of the mouth, they're begging Texas and some of these red states on the border to stop sending illegal immigrants to them. They're saying it's unsustainable. Nothing like it. We never seen anything like it. Unprecedented, according to Eric Adams, right? Well, at the same time, begging the town, El Paso, Texas, that is sending the illegal immigrants allegedly to New York City. He's begging the town that deals with this every single day, who has way less resources to deal with this than New York City, by the way. He's begging them to stop sending migrants to New York City, right? Again, if New York City can't deal with this, why do you expect border towns to deal with this? Again, that's what blows my mind about Democrats. They get all upset when the illegal immigrants come to their cities, but for whatever reason, they expect red states to deal with it. You have to deal with it, right? I'm pretty sure the people in those towns didn't ask for the illegal immigrants to show up either. You know who actually did ask for the illegal immigrants to show up? Joe Biden, right? The Democrats asked for them to show up. They literally told them to come during the primaries, which in my opinion is part of the reason why we're in this crisis, is because they literally said that illegal immigrants should come to this country, right? I'm just saying, you get what you asked for. This is the consequences of woke rhetoric. Now, one thing I do want to talk about before the end of this video, having to do with the Arizona debate, is a libertarian who said something off the wall, something that libertarians really need to, address, right? And the libertarian that said this is Mr. Mark Victor, who basically made a comment about the age of consent that really is the reason why libertarians can't quite become as mainstream as I feel like they should be. Take a look.
We are a constitutional republic, not an unrestricted democracy. Today, everything is up for a vote. Very little should be up for a vote. Like, for example, who should represent the good people of the state of Arizona? That should be up for a vote. What should the age of consent be? This is something that reasonable minds disagree on. That should be up for a vote. But everything else that we are voting on that has anything to do with your body, your property, your money, your time, that's what freedom is about, folks. None of that should be up for a vote.
Yeah, so I want you guys to understand what this dude just said. He said, we are a constitutional republic, not an unrestricted democracy. And he says that elected representatives should be up for a vote, but almost all policy questions should not be up for a vote. And for whatever reason, age of consent, though, should be up for a vote, right? Age of consent should be up for a vote. Again, I'm trying to figure out, why would you say that during a debate? Again, this is why libertarians just quite can't become mainstream, okay? Guys like him have been hitting the gravity bongs just a little bit too much, okay? And drinking the bong water on top of that, right? Because that's how you get on stage and you say stuff like this, right? He's been hanging out with Kamala too much, okay? I'm just saying. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.